The state capture report has also indicated that former Eskom CEO Matshela Koko also had a hand in assisting state capture at the power utility at Eskom. Mr. Koko joins us now via Zoom. Mr. Koko, thank you so much for joining us on Point. I'm noting some of the tweets that you have been sharing since yesterday, talking about how the left hand does not know what the right hand is doing. Your overall impression of this latest report and your implication in it. Please do unmute yourself, Mr. Koko.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Diabo, and good afternoon to your listeners. I hold the view that the state capture report, in as far as it applies to Eskom, is an anticlimax. I think the South Africans expected more. There has been a lot that has been said about Eskom and the capture of Eskom, in as far as it affected Eskom's performance. We're doing this interview now in the middle of load shedding, and the state capture report is not assisting South Africans to understand why do we have load shedding as we speak now.
Would you agree with it, though, that what the Commission says that you did have a hand in the overall state capture, particularly when it regarding Eskom, even though, we do have load shedding now, but, the problems do date back to even perhaps before your time. Do you agree with it that you had a hand in it?
Diabo, I always respond this way. If there was state capture during my time at Eskom, it was good for Eskom's performance and its customers. We had no load shedding, we burned no diesel, and we kept the lights on. In my time, I burned 10 million liters of diesel in a year. Yesterday, Eskom announced that in the last 3 months, they've burned 287 million liters of diesel in only 3 months. If there was load shed, if there was state capture, I've told the Commission that I was not part of it. But if you want to make me part of it, then I'm happy because it benefited the South Africans, it benefited the customers, the lights kept on. I think it's ridiculous.
So some of the findings that have been said, I do note when you're saying that it is ridiculous what the Commission is saying, which is your response. They say that you leaked confidential Eskom documents to Gupta Associates. Are you still in contact with the Gupta Associates, Mr. Koko?
I was never in contact with the Gupta Associates, and I'm surprised you are asking me that question.
Why are you surprised, Mr. Koko, if you have been implicated? We are giving you right of reply to what the Commission is saying.
I have never been in contact with the Guptas or Gupta Associates. I have told the Commission that in spite of that, they chose to believe the version of Suzanne that I was in contact with the Guptas. I was not.
Let me give you these last 3 minutes to put your case forward about what is the true version of events, Mr. Koko.
You see, I hold the view that the worst of the Zondo Commission's report represents the best for Mr. Koko. What was I accused of? I was accused of doing the bidding for the Guptas. I was accused of paying a prepayment to the Guptas. The Zondo report comes out today and say the NPA must go and investigate further. Up to now, we had a National Treasury investigation, and the recommendation from National Treasury was the NPA must go and investigate. We then had Eskom parliamentary inquiry, and the conclusion of the Eskom parliamentary inquiry was that the NPA must go and investigate. We then had the Zondo Commission, and the Zondo Commission result is that the NPA must go and investigate. The NPA had 5 years to investigate. And in that 5 years, they have not come up with the prima facie evidence against Koko. They have no law enforcement agencies have contacted me in 5 years. My hands are clean. That's the only reason.
Mr. Koko, can we expect you to take this report on legal review? Some other respondents have indicated such. Can we expect you to take the same action?
Every time I read this report, I realize how flawed it is. And I had an option to say, I'm not going to do that. I'll let the NPA bring it on, and they've been set up to fail. But every time I read it, I've now come to the conclusion that I will definitely take it for review.
Mr. Matshela Koko, thank you so much for making time to speak to us. On point, it is the former Eskom CEO, Mr. Matshela Koko, giving us his views on the latest state capture report.